My name is Mark Faust of Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm making an appeal to you, President Tinubu. Free MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, because you have nothing to gain by keeping him. I know President Trump. I've written a book about President Trump. And again, you have nothing to gain by hurting or keeping this man in jail, and everything to lose. I appeal to you, for your own benefit, please release MAZI. To my brothers and sisters in Biafra, you must know there is so much work going on in the United States of America and around the world with literally, of the people I know, hundreds of people, just myself, reaching out to my fellow parishioner in my home church of St. Gertrude, J.D. Vance, the vice president, to all the many hundreds of people reaching out to so many people. You must know this $9 million that has been wasted on lobbying efforts in D.C. is going to be worthless because it's not having an effect. The word has gotten out. People know that MAZI is innocent. People know about the abhorrent genocidal type efforts that are happening to you in Biafra. And I promise you, good things are happening and about to unfold.
Alright, so guys, I'm Nnamdi Kanu, this popular US author. This particular video, he was requesting for Nnamdi Kanu's release. This is a plea to the Nigerian federal government and the president, President Tinubu, telling him to actually free Nnamdi Kanu. I don't want to say much again about this particular update. But there's this headline that is making the trend now. The update from Igbere TV says, Nnamdi Kanu is reason Nigeria is not yet Islamized. T.Y Danjuma, Zamani Petition UK Parliament. So this headline is what is trending since today. Can go down to the details of the news. Oh, no. A former defense minister, LT General T.Y Danjuma, retired, former military governor of Rivers State, General Zamani Lekworth, retired, and Chief Solomon Asemota, son, have dragged Nigeria to the United Kingdom UK Parliament, alleging that the former President Buhari was pursuing a jihadist or Islamization agenda. They told the UK Parliament that Buhari was not serious about tackling insecurity arising from Boko Haram insurgency and herdsmen farmers' crisis in the country, Vanguard reports. The trial act under the aegis of Nigerian Christian Elders Forum, NCEF. Other members of the group are General Joshua Logunyaru, retired Justice Kalajin Anigbogu, Elder Matthew Awojeyi, Dr. Kate Akpaleke, and Elder Moses Ihonde. They blame Lord Lugard for sowing the seed of ethno-religious crisis and dichotomy between northern and southern Nigeria. Their paper was entitled Competing Ideologies of Democracy and Sharia in Nigeria, the nuance understating of the drivers of the conflict in Nigeria by farmers and herders. It reads amalgamation and or annexation history background information. British man on the spot, Lord Lugard promoted Islam by preventing proselytizing in Muslim areas of Nigeria, especially the Emirates. Lugard was in love with Muslim North, especially the Sultan of Sokoto, for their contribution towards the war effort. He further created Northern Nigerian Corporation, which Turkey did not offer, as reason why the Muslims North was entitled to special treatment, and above all, he, Lugard, was a disgruntled suitor who seemed to have lost his faith in Christianity before he got married to Miss Flora Shaw. He hated educated black people, and the South had many of them. By 1914, dispensed with during a period of racism, Lugard created Muslim Northern Nigeria and annexed, not amalgamated, Southern Nigeria to provide access to the sea and sustenance for Muslim North. He would rather have traditional leaders to rule than educated Africans. He ensured this even after retirement from the colonial service. At independence, the British saw Islamists creeping into Nigeria and tried to make up with human rights in the constitution. At the same time, the British government ensured dominance of the North in terms of size as against the South that was divided into East, West, and later Midwest. Democracy was agreed upon by all the parties North, East, and West during the Independence Conference, but the Intelligence Department was structured to promote Sharia as an alternative source of legislation. At independence in 1960, the first law enacted by the Parliament was the Emergence Act of 1961. This was a strange way of celebrating freedom. This law was followed by a contrived emergency in Western region in 1963, resulting in the Western crisis of 1965 and the coup of January and July 1966. The July coup was a jihad that resulted in the killings of innocent Nigerians, especially the Ndi Igbo, who were mainly Christians. These jihadists resulted in the program that led to the Civil War of 1967 to 1970. The jihad continued with the Petition riots, which was supposed to be between Muslim sects, but in reality provided an excuse to attack and kill Ndi Igbo, especially the shop owners, and their shops were looted. There was no correlation between Petition and Christian shops owners. Petition became an excuse for jihad against other Muslims to ensure that they fall in line, especially in Bulunkutu, Jimeta, etc., having subdued the North and moderate Muslim, including the overthrow of Christian General Yakubu Gowon and a moderate Muslim President Shehu Shagari. Today, 2019, Nigeria has a group of Christian clergy, Mukarabat, men and women paid handsomely and granted national honors. Those duties include speaking in defense of Islam and Sharia. There was a commission of inquiry in 1982 in Nigeria which discovered that the 3 persons named above introduced the doctrine and operational manual of Muslim Brotherhood into Nigeria. The Petition inquiry showed clearly the use of state violence to quell religious fanaticism, thus began the process of state force to bring other Muslim sects into line. The same was applied to El-Zakzaki in 2016, a Shiite who was an ally of the Sunni in 1970s to 1980s. It also provided political reason for the dominance of Muslim North over Christian South. Shekau's video, The Religions of Allah, Not the Religion of Democracy, in December 17, 2014, shows the role of religion in the crisis in Nigeria. Evidence of organized coordination. The intelligence service is the only organization in Nigeria since independence that has not been subjected to a commission of inquiry. It was strengthened when Murtala Muhammad was assassinated and became an instrument for the protection of Muslims and the promotion of Sharia. The intelligence service constituted the invisible government. Evidence of these facts can be found in the leadership and personnel of the organization. The video made by Boko Haram also showed organized coordination. Evidence of support. A former governor of Borno State stated the Boko Haram and co. opted the head of Boko Haram sect, Yusufu, into his cabinet. A member of NCEF and former chief of army staff had to call on Nigerians to resort to self-defense when the telephone of a terrorist was discovered to contain number of government and top officials in armed forces. No commission of inquiry was set up, but a committee of the military was alleged to have found the military blameless. Today, all ethnic nationalities have been advised to resort to self-help. This is not evidence of an organized society. Disappropriate numbers of victims. This can be contributed to various acts of stealth jihad by the federal government, whereby arms in the hands of law-abiding citizens, mainly Christians, were confiscated, while the Fulani herdsmen and Boko Haram retained their AK-47 rifles. When these terrorists are arrested, they are rehabilitated and sent back into the society. They are never prosecuted. See Buhari statement, para 7. Finance for weapons. The case of an armed dealer, a Nigerian who lives in Egypt, was reported to the DSS. That's the Department of State Service. The DSS did not carry out the directive of President Jonathan that the suspects be arrested and interrogated. Intelligence report in 2010 found former governor of Borno personal involvement in the recruitment, training, and dispatch of Boko Haram fighters. During the period of Jonathan, the Islamiz consolidated and resulted in what is taking place presently in Nigeria. The DG SSS was executed by the NCEF of disloyalty to President Jonathan in a letter to that organization in December 2017. Evidence of collusion. It's also clear that it tells jihad to have a constitution that prohibits state police, even as money in billions of dollars is voted for vigilantes and religious police, thus rendering the police weakened by stealth jihad, while Boko Haram and Fulani herdsmen execute the conventional jihad. This is the conclusion that one can draw from this statement of President Buhari over the years below. I will continue to show openly the total commitment to the Sharia movement. Why should Christians be concerned when Muslims cut off their limbs after all the limbs cut off are Muslims ones? I can die for the cause of Islam if necessary. We are prepared to fight another civil war. So this is actually a statement that is coming recently that started trending again. So these persons are insisting that Nnamdi Kanu is the reason Nigeria has not finally been Islamized. And in Anyanifeneme today, you get to realize that they are just saying the truth. It is very obvious. Just imagine the go without man saying Nnamdi Kanu. Konye ga akumu na Igbo now and face Nigerian government. All these billionaires are worried that small money that is put into their hand. The next thing, they start campaigning for a government that has kept people in poverty, paid millions of lives, and are still buying. These people take endorsement from them and start campaigning for them. On that, we hope na Igbo. If not for MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, go about from our Southeastern leaders, so the governors, the allies, there is nobody that can stand and be transparent the way MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is. We stand there for the one. That is why the love of we do so strong. MAZI Nnamdi Kanu remains the only person, as we speak, that Igbo holds very, very firm. So that is why Ojidika, all these governors, leaders in Southeast hate him so much, because they know that they can't do quarter or even half or even little of what MAZI Nnamdi Kanu represents in Southeast. So for you, just imagine MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. Imagine a Libo without MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. I don't want to say more than this. I'm going to watch the video to this length. Share your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this update? Share your thoughts and also do well to share the video. Handles of the super right with fear. See you guys in my next video. Yeah, guys.